Guys, okay, let's try to underline some key ideas together. All right. So first of all, here exercise 3 asks you to read questions 1 to 5 and underline the key ideas. Do not read the options yet. Now you see from question number 1, when William Carrier invented air conditioning, his aim was to. You see, they only underline a few words only, not everything, right? Don't try to analyze so many words, otherwise it will be a mess. Just underline the key things only. For example, number 1, his aim. So we need to search for the aim only. Yeah, his aim. What's that? Alright. Now number 2, home air conditioners were not popular at first because they were. So what should we underline here? Yeah, so we need to analyze something probably like not popular at first. Okay, not popular at first, something like that. So underline that. Because what? Maybe not popular at first because you can analyze that. Not popular at first because. So we are searching for the reasons why air conditioners were not popular at first, right? Number 3, employers refuse to put air conditioning in workplaces at first because they. So what should we underline here? Yeah, employers refused, right? Employers refused put air conditioning in workplaces. Yeah, we can analyze something like at first or something, but that would be too much. Okay, just analyze some of them. Yeah, employers refused put air conditioning in workplaces. So we need to look for the reasons, because here they say because, right? We need to look for the reasons. You understand? Employers are not workers. No. What? The host? Yes, like the employers. That means we are talking about like the owners of a company. Yeah. Employers. That means like the owners of a company. They are hiring people, not like they work for a company. Like they own that company. Okay. You can say owners of a company, yeah, owners. All right, now number 4, what was the purpose of the research done in the 1940s and 50s?
Purpose of research?
Yes, purpose of research, right? We don't need to analyze too much. Purpose of research. Yes. Come again? Purpose. What does that mean, guys? Yeah, the purpose. I mean, like the reason. Yeah, the main idea, the reason why you do that. Here they say, what was the purpose of the research? That is, what is the idea of doing that research, or why you need to do that research, right? Lý do, mục đích. But here you need to analyze something like 1940s and 50s as well. 1940s and 50s. Do you understand 1940s with S and 50s with S?
1940s with S means somewhere 1941 to 1945.
Yes, from 1940 to 1949. Yeah, 1940s means somewhere from 1940 to 1949. Okay? Hello. And 50s means it's just 50s that very similar, like 1950s to 1950s. 50s with S means to 1959. Yeah, from 1950 to 1959. Got it? Yeah? Okay. Number 5, what does Chad Brown say about air conditioning? What should we underline here? Yeah, Jet Brown say. Yeah, Jet Brown say. Of course, say about air conditioning because the whole thing is about air conditioning, right? Okay, that's it. So we have just underlined all the keywords here. So now you need to search for that. First of all, you need to identify the locations, right? Here, for example, number one, when Willis Carrier invented air conditioning, his aim was to, you need to search for his aim, his goal. You need to search for that place and then you read carefully around that place. Got it? And then you answer questions and then you choose A, B, C, or D. Now do it. Do all 5 questions there. Fast. Finished?
Yeah.
All of you have finished already? Yahang Vitan finished? Yes? Okay. Then let's fix this together. Now, number 1. Stop, what's the answer?
A.
What? E. A. No, that's wrong.
C.
C and B. No. D.
Then say about factory.
Right? Is it so? No?
It didn't say factory.
You didn't say a fast phrase. Where? Now, tell me. For example, stop if you say like, when Willis Carrier invented air conditioning, his name was who? Your answer is A, right? Make workers feel cooler. Where? Where is that? Where is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Read that.
Carrier's invention made it possible to control temperature and humidity levels and so align the colors.
Yes, Carrier's invention made it possible to control temperature and humidity levels and so align the colors. And do you see anything related to workers there? Make workers feel cooler? What? Humidity. You understand that? No, that's not human. That's humidity. What is that, guys? Humidity level? What does that mean? That is the water level in the air. The water level. When they say humidity level, they are talking about the water level in the air. Okay? For example, like if the humidity level is high, that means that it's very wet. Kind of the air you feel is really wet. Yeah? I mean a lot of water in the air. But if you decide that the humidity level is like low, then that means that it's quite dry. You feel that your skin is very dry. Okay? Don't have much water in the air. Độ ẩm đó nha các bạn. Okay? So here we are not talking about humans. So Carrier's invention made it possible to control temperature and humidity levels and so align the colors. So we don't see anything related to workers. Nothing. Now Kiệt, you chose C, right? Set up a new business. Why is that? Where? Yeah.
The invention also allows industries such as feed, processed food,
Textiles.
and
Surgicals.
pharmaceutical to improve the quality of air water.
Yeah.
I don't know between C or D, so I choose C.
Yeah. So after reading this, the invention also allow industries such as film, processed food, textiles, and pharmaceuticals to improve the quality of their products. And based on that, you think the answer is C, set up a new business. They didn't say anything about a new business, right? Did they say what are these things, the thing they are talking about? Is that a new business or not? Yes or no? No, they didn't mention that is a new business or an old business. Because here you see something like films, processed food, textiles, and pharmaceuticals. Those are businesses, right? But we don't know whether they are new or old. We cannot tell. So that means the answer C is not correct. Set up. And here we don't see anything like set up. Set up a new business. I mean you have to do a lot of things, like you need to organize things. You have to put this one over there, this one over here, something like that. Okay, and we need to do a lot of things related to a new business. But based on that, we don't see anything like that. So that is not about set up a new business. And also not about make workers feel cooler, because we don't see anything related to workers there. We say yes, it can help to control the temperature and humidity levels, but it's not about workers, right? And you said B, right? Produce more attractive paper. Produce more attractive paper. Where's that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fluctuations.
Fluctuation in heat and moisture for causing the size of the printing paper to keep changing size
Slightly.
But it's hard to
Align.
align into color.
Yeah. So after reading that, at a Brooklyn printing plant, fluctuations in heat and moisture were causing the size of the printing paper to keep changing slightly, making it hard to align different colors. And based on that, you think the answer is B. Produce more attractive paper. Yes, I can see the word paper here, right? Yeah? But do you see anything like producing attractive paper? Do you see anything like attractive there? No, right? They're not talking about they're trying to make paper more attractive or whatever. No. They just mention here what? They mention like the problem, right? Fluctuations in heat and moisture were causing the size of a printing paper to keep changing slightly. Do you understand that sentence? At the Brooklyn printing plant, fluctuations, do you understand fluctuations in heat and moisture?
Yes.
Fluctuations, that means going up and down all the time. Keep changing all the time. Yeah? So you can mention like that. So you can underline that. Fluctuations, that means going up and down, up and down, and down. So that is fluctuations. Right? Yes, that's a noun. Fluctuations in heat and moisture, that means heat and moisture keep changing, keep going up and going down, up and down all the time. Okay? And because of that, because the heat and the moisture keep changing, what is the problem? The problem is they were causing the size of the printing paper to keep changing slightly as well. You see, for example, I put one paper in, I try to print it, but sometimes it's this big, but then some other times might be a little bit smaller or shorter or something, or sometimes it's a little bit wider or something, and it doesn't look nice. We want to have everything kind of very similar to each other, not like keep changing all the time like that, right? Otherwise they order 100 papers and then you give them like 100 different papers, and it looks very different, then it's not nice. Okay, so that's the problem. Now here they say making it hard to align different colors as well. So Carrier's invention made it possible to control temperature and humidity levels, so align the colors. So that's the purpose. His aim is to fix that problem, the problem related to heat and moisture, just to make sure that when they produce the paper, it must be correct or something like that, right? And besides, the invention also allowed industries such as film, process, blah, blah, something that those are the something else, yeah. So that's why the answer B is also not correct. Produce more attractive paper? No, we are not trying to produce more attractive paper here. No, we are trying. Or that person was trying to fix the problem related to heat and moisture fluctuations. Got it? So that's why the answer here is D. Solve problems in the factory. Now, guys, again, in IELTS, probably I don't say whether that is a good trick or not, I don't know, but normally in IELTS, the correct answer normally doesn't have or doesn't contain the similar words or exactly the same words as the things you read from the passage. Okay, now when you read D, solve problems in the factory, do you see any word like solve problems in the factory there? Do you see the word factory there? No. But normally the right, guys, again, normally the correct answer is the one which you can just find some similar words or paraphrasing words and phrases of that. You don't find the matching words, like exactly the same word there. For example, factory. We don't see any word like factory there, right? But we see what? We see printing plant. You see that? Right? Stop not that page. Yeah. Yeah. Of what? Plant? That means factory. Plant means factory. Yeah, last time I asked you to learn, but you didn't learn, so that's the problem. Plant means large factory where an industrial process happens. See? So now, again, so factory, in a factory is similar to what? In a factory is similar to what? At a Brooklyn printing plant, in this case. Okay? How about solve problems? Solve problems is similar to what? Solve problems. Now tell me, solve problems is similar to what? Yeah, align. What does that mean? Making it hard to align different colors, guy. Align different colors. What does that mean?
You put them the same with the paper on top of the paper.
No, making it hard to align different colors, like align, that means like you try to match them together. You try to match them. Okay? Together, that's it. Giống như căn chỉnh hay là adjust. Yeah? All right. Now, where? Now, again, you didn't tell me exactly where you can find some similar words of solve problems. Where is that? Solve problems.
Fluctuations in heat and moisture.
Fluctuations in heat and moisture. It doesn't mean anything. Actually, you read the whole thing. Fluctuations in heat and moisture were causing the size of the printing paper to keep changing slightly, making it hard to align different colors. So when you read that, what are you reading? What is that? Yes, that is the problem, right? That is the problem, or that is the problems with us. A lot of problems there, right? And now I want to see something like solve. Yeah. Carriers, that's just the name of the guy. And invention, that means that what he's create. What? The invention also allowed the industry such as blah, blah, something to improve the quality. Yes, that's guys. But you need the whole thing here. First of all, you need to underline one thing first. Made it possible to underline that. Here, Carrier's invention. That's what he created. Made it possible to control blah blah. Okay, so you underline made it possible to. That means that solve. Right? For example, like when you have a pen, they create a pen and they make it possible for you to write easily. Okay, so made it possible to do something. I mean, you can solve something, and solve what? Control temperature and to control temperature and humidity levels, and so like the colors. Okay, and what else? The invention, yes, also allow the industry such as blah blah choose something to improve the quality of their products. See that? So you underline something else. Allow industries to blah blah. Allowed to, you underline allowed to. Underline that, guys. Underline allowed to. Yeah, allowed to. The last sentence. The invention also allow industries such as film. See that? So you only underline allowed and then go down and then you see to. Yeah. When they say they allow you to do something, that means they solve the problems so that they help you to move on. Understand? So now you see they mention some problems. They mention about the way to solve it, and also they mention about in the factory that is at the Brooklyn printing plant. Again, you don't see any matching words there, right? You don't see any exact words and phrases there, right? You don't see anything like factory. You don't see anything like solve problems. But that is the answer. That is IELTS. So normally the answer is the thing you don't see them exactly there. Okay, you don't see the matching words. You only can see the similar words and phrases. Got it? So the answer is D, 1D. Now, for example, like A, look at A. That is a distractor, right? And you see some word. Do you see any kind of matching words there? Workers make workers feel cooler. Maybe you see control. Or B, you see the word distractor is paper, right? Paper, something like that. Or business, you see the mention about business, blah blah something. Yeah. Okay, 1D. Now number 2, home air conditioners were not popular at first because they were. Okay, Kick, what's your answer? 2A. How about the others? Do you agree? Yes? Okay, yes, I also agree. The answer is A, 2A. They're too big and expensive, right? Okay, where is that?
I read from para 2 from line number 1 to line number 6.
Yeah. Line number 1 to line number 6. Paragraph 2. Guys, for the first question, you can mark from at a Brooklyn printing plant to the end. And you can mark that area and then you write number 1 there. So that is the answer for number 1. Yeah. From at a Brooklyn printing plant to product. Các bạn gạch một cái đường, guys. Các bạn gạch cái đường như vậy nè, từ này đến gạch bên hông á, xong rồi đi number 1 like this. Yeah. Got it? So that's the answer for number 1. Got it? Now number 2, paragraph 2, right? Where's that?
From line number 1 to line number 6.
Line number 1 to line number 6. In 1914, the first air conditioning device was installed in a private house. However, its size, similar to that of an early computer, meant it took up too much space to come into widespread use. And later models such as the Weathermaker, which Carrier brought out in the 1920s, cost too much for most people, right? Okay. Yes, I also agree. But among everything you have just read, then which one is the most important one? We need to analyze some of them.
Line number 2.
Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
Number 3 took up too much space.
Yes, so you can analyze it took up too much space. Underline that. It took up too much space.
And line number 6.
Yeah.
Too much for most people.
Yeah, cost too much for most people, right? Cost too much for most people. So we underline those two. Yeah. And here, because they say too big and expensive. Too big means it took up too much space, right? And expensive, cost too much for most people. See? Yeah, so it's very clear. There's nothing I need to explain further. Number 2, you can align those two sentences, those two phrases, and then you write number 2 there. Okay, guys, but why do you know they are talking about the home air conditioners?
Because they see private house.
Yes. Home air conditioners. Why we know that? Because we see like private house in home, right? And also air conditioning, that's air conditioners. Air conditioning device, that is air conditioners, right? It's the same. The first sentence, right? Okay. Good. So if you need to mark from the side like that, you can mark from in 1914, right? From the first sentence to cost too much for most people, yeah, and then you can write number 2 next to that. Okay, especially you need to analyze 2 phrases. It took up too much space and cost too much for most people, so you can see the answers there. Yeah, okay, done. Very good. We can try to read B, C, D here to see why they don't match. Not considered necessary, too inefficient and complicated to use. No, not these 3. Okay. And number 3, Yeah Hung, read that. Three C. Do you agree? You chose D, and so what did you choose? D also. Yeah, you Tang, what did you choose? C. Well, the answer is C. Did not want to spend money improving working conditions. So we have 2 options here. Some of you chose C and some of you chose D, right? Did not want to spend money improving working conditions and thought people would not work so hard in comfortable conditions. And here, look at the questions again. Employers refuse to self-focus. Employers refuse to put air conditioning in workplaces at first because they. So we just need to remember some keywords. Employers refuse putting air conditioning in working places. Why? Okay, now let's check to see whether they say that they did not want to spend money improving working conditions, or they worry that people would not work so hard in comfortable conditions, right? Okay, okay, tell me why you chose D. You must say something so that you chose D, thought people would not work so hard in comfortable conditions, right? Where?
Question, I see the 1,914, and I see part 3, number 5.
Yeah.
So in the 1,914, industry starts putting out a different message about this product. So I see the word putting out. So I choose D because I think it's similar.
Oh, you saw the words putting out, and you think they are similar to D, like comfortable conditions, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not very convincing, right? Okay, so why did you choose D? Which paragraph? Paragraph 3, line number 2. Okay. Okay, so the first thing you see here, to start with, money-conscious employers regarded air conditioning as a luxury, right? What else? Yeah.
He said they should not be paying for them to be comfortable at work.
Okay, yes, here. They consider that if they were paying people to work, they should not be paying for them to be comfortable as well, right? You see that they should not be paying for them, like for the workers, to be comfortable as well, right? Yeah, so you see some sentences here. Yeah, well, maybe it makes sense now. Read that again carefully. D. Thought people would not work so hard in comfortable conditions. Do you see that they worry that people wouldn't work so hard in comfortable working place? No, right? Yeah. Yeah, they just say that, well, we don't want to pay for them to feel comfortable. They didn't say that, well, oh, we worry. We were really worried because like if we put them in a very comfortable working place, then they may not work hard. No, they didn't say that. They just said, why should I do that? They just said that, well, I worry if I put the air conditioners there and then people won't work. No. You understand? Yeah, they just ask the question, hey, why should I do that? Why should I spend too much for them? Right? So D is not correct. Now, let's have a look at C. Did not want to spend money improving working conditions. Yeah, Hung, where is that? Yeah, that is one, and also here. Yeah, actually, Sab, you just read that one, but maybe you understood the wrong thing, so that's why you couldn't choose the right answers. But what you read is just correct. They consider that if they were paying people to work, they should not be paying for them to be comfortable as well. Okay? So here, what does that mean? It means that the employers, they consider that if they were paying people to work, I mean, they say, hey, we only pay you to work for us, so we don't need to spend more money for you to feel comfortable. Because we only paid, and your responsibility is to work, right? That's what they thought. They didn't say, well, oh my God, I pay them and then now I have to pay for their comforts as well. No, they don't want to. They just want to pay only one time, pay for them to work, that's it. They don't want to spend money on their comfort. That's the meaning. Okay? That's the meaning. So that's why here they say, see, they did not want to spend money improving working conditions because they think that's unnecessary. They only pay for the workers to work. Why should they pay for their comfort? You understand? Okay. Of course, later on they changed their mind because they say, oh, they put the workers in like comfortable working places, then the worker can work better. Okay. All right. Now number 4. What was the purpose of the research done in the 1940s and 50s, right? Di Tang, number 4, what's your answer? C. His answer is C, for C. Do you agree with that? 4. So what did you choose? A? Yeah. You don't know the answer. Okay. The answer for number 4 is C. Now, we need to read the keywords again. Purpose of research, 1940s and 50s. Okay? Purpose of research, 1940s, 50s. The answer is C, to persuade businesses to buy air conditioners. That's the purpose of the research. And Sub, you chose A, right? To make office workers produce more, right? Now, where is that? Tell me. Okay, paragraph 3, line number 6, yeah. What? You don't remember? Okay, then let's go with the right answers. Yi Tang, you chose C, right? Why is that? C, here they mentioned to persuade businesses to buy air conditioners. That's the purpose of the research. Where?
Paragraph 3, line 4.
Mm-hmm.
So the 100.
1940s.
1940 and 50, the industry started putting out information about its product.
Mm-hmm.
According to their research, installing air conditioning is very productive
Productivity amongst employees.
among employees. They found targets increase their output by 24% when from the
Transferred.
from regular office to call one.
A cooled one.
There are study to office working conditions were carried out in a place within showing that majority of companies see air conditioning as the single most important contributor to efficient efficiency in office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yes, you can read paragraph 3. Oh, sorry, we didn't mark anything for question number 3, right? Question number 3, did not want to spend money improving working conditions. For number 3, you can mark like from the from the side of that paragraph. From they consider that to be comfortable as well. See that? Mark that one and write number 3 so you can find the answers next time. Okay? From they consider that until to be comfortable as well. That's number 3. Got it? That's number 3. Now for number 4, yes, you can read from so in the 1940s and 50s, the industry started putting out different measures about its product. So they send another message to the public. What? According to their research, installing air conditioning increased productivity amongst employees. Right? They're trying to say that how good their products can do for the working places, for the employees there. Right? Like what? They found a typist. Do you understand typist? The people just do typing. What can they do? Typists increase their output by 24% when transferred from a regular office to a cool one. What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? Installing air conditioning increased productivity amongst employees. They found that typists increased their output by 24%. That means that typists, they type faster. 24% faster. Yeah, 24% faster. That means, for example, like 1 minute, for example, like, I wouldn't say 1 minute, 100 words, but for example, like 2 minutes, 100 words. But now when they transfer them from the regular office to a cool one, now they can type 124 words. That is 24% faster. You understand? Improve from 100 words in 2 minutes, for example, to 124 words in 2 minutes. Đổi chỗ. Ngồi qua ghế bên hông. Ghế bên hông là với. Okay. Okay, guys. So that is for typists. Transfer from a regular office to a cool one, like transfer from like a regular office without air conditioning. Now transfer them to a cool one, like this room, like this studying room. Okay, our classroom is very cool, and they see that the typists they can type faster, 24% faster. What else? They give another study into office working conditions, which was carried out in the late 50s. What happened? Show that the majority of companies cited air conditioning as the single most important contributor to efficiency in offices. Do you understand efficiency in offices? I mean, they can work better. So like for example, like if I put you in a very hot room, like 40 degrees, do you think that you can focus on studying? If I put you in a room like not even 40 degrees, but like 35 degrees or something, do you think you can study well? No, compared with this room, yeah, well, it's very cool, only 24 degrees, and then you can focus more, right? So that's what they're trying to convince people here, yeah. They show their studies. They say, hey, you should use the AC. That's the main purpose. So that's why here, the answer for number 4 is C, to persuade businesses to buy air conditioners. Okay? Not D, to encourage employees to change. Nobody chose D, right? Some you chose A, right? To make office workers produce more. I see, probably you see, they can produce more, they can work better, something like that, right? But the meaning here is A is not the same. To make office workers produce more. Produce more, produce what? Okay? That's not the purpose of research. The purpose of research hey, this is the research, and the purpose of my research is to make workers produce more. No. I show the research to convince people to buy my ACs. You understand? They show the research to convince companies to buy their ACs. That's the purpose. They want to sell their ACs. They don't want to show the research to say that, hey, hey, workers, look at my research, and then you can produce more. Doesn't make any sense. You understand? Got it? Yeah. So the answer is C. Now let's move on to number 5, right? Stop, your turn.
B.
What? B. What does Jet Brown say about air conditioning? Wait, for number 4, I think you can mark from so in the 1940 to the end of that paragraph, okay? And then you can write number 4. Yeah? Now let's move on to number 5. Here they say, what does Jet Brown say about air conditioning? We only underline Jet Brown say, right? So you only need to search where, you search for the location of Jet Brown, what he said, and then you read carefully. Okay? And some you chose B, turning it off will not reduce global warming. What? Okay? Turning it off will not reduce global warming. And do you agree? No. So what do you choose? D? D, it is good for people but bad for the environment. Do you have any other options? Yaham, how about you? You chose C. It can seriously damage people's health. Alright. The correct answer is D. 5D. Jack Brown say here. What does Jack Brown say? He said, it is good. The AC is good for people but bad for the environment. That's what he said. Okay. Now, Sab, you chose B, right? Turn it off will not reduce global warming. Where?
Line number 3.
Yeah.
Complains that air conditioning is a factor in global warming. Unfortunately, he asked because air conditioning leads to higher temperature, people have to use it even more.
Okay. So you see, like Jet Brown, environmentalists, complains that air conditioning is the factor in global warming. Unfortunately, he asks, because air conditioning leads to higher temperatures, people have to use it even more. Where? Where does it say that turning it off will not reduce global warming? It doesn't say anything about turning on or off the AC here, right? Do you see anything where they mention like turning on or turning off the AC? No. So B is not correct. Yahung, you chose C, right? It can seriously damage people's health. Where? Oh, because you see here, they say, unfortunately, he asked, because air conditioning leads to higher temperatures. You think like higher temperatures of human's body? No, they are talking about higher temperatures of the environment. Okay? The higher temperatures here, they are talking about the higher temperatures of the environment, not the human's body. Not like making people sick, no. We are sitting right here in this room with the AC, right? And do you see like our body's temperature increase or something? No, right? So that's not correct. The C is not correct. Now D, it is good for people but bad for the environment. Okay, where is that?
I see two mentions.
Yeah.
Last paragraph, line number 2,
Yeah.
Jack Brown, environmentalist, complains that air conditioning is a factor in global warming.
Yeah.
Mention 2, line number 6. However, he admits that it provides a healthier environment for many people in the heat of summer.
He admits that it provides a healthier environment for many people in the heat of summer, and also complains that air conditioning is a factor in global warming. Okay, so you said based on those two, right? So which one means it is good for people? Which one means it is good for people? The AC is good for people.
Healthier environment for many people.
Yes, it provides a healthier environment for many people, right? Yeah. So that means that it is good for people. How about but bad for the environment?
Factor in global warming.
Yes, it's a factor in global warming, right? Yeah. Yeah. Air conditioning is a factor in global warming. It's bad for the environment, but it's yeah okay here healthier environment for many people, good for human. Yeah.
Then what does factor mean?
Fact. You didn't study yesterday. You didn't learn new words, right? That's why today you still ask about factor. What does that mean? Number 6, factor, that is C. Read C. Stop, read that aloud.
One of the things that have an effect on a particular situation.
Yes. Factor means one of the things that has an effect on a particular situation. That is factor. What?
Why then short?
Like things like the thing we can have an effect on something else, because we have many factors, and one factor is like one thing that can have an effect on something, maybe good or bad, we don't know. Okay. Yeah, can be the reason, yeah, one of the reasons for something, yes. Okay, so factor is the one thing, one factor is one thing which affects something else. Okay, so now you can mark that one, guys. You can mark from Jet Brown, actually you can mark the whole paragraph, and then you can write number 5. But then you need to underline 2 sentences. 2 sentences. The first thing is air conditioning is the factor in global warming, and then it provides a healthier environment for many people. Okay. Okay. Now, done. Do you have any questions? Any words, anything you don't understand? Guys, 3 bạn dưới thuộc gì chưa? Bạn phải bậy không chẳng học hành gì hết. Có không à? Thì mời dò cho 2 đứa nó đi. Coi 2 bạn nó thuộc thì không thuộc thì check, còn không thuộc thì thôi. Bạn gấp lại càng tốt, bạn nó thuộc rồi, bạn đừng gấp. Right, guys, any questions? Yes, yeah. What? Which paragraph? Paragraph 1, line number 4. Hit. Yeah, hit, that is the noun form of heart. Yes. What else? Yeah. Paragraph 2, line number 4. Widespread use, right? To come into widespread use. Widespread? What? A lot? Yes, widespread use. I mean, yes, use a lot or big, right? Big, a lot, something like that. Yes, that's an adjective. Widespread. Widespread use ý là được sử dụng rộng khắp các bạn, khắp nơi, yeah. Everywhere. Yes. Transferred, where is that? Paragraph 3, line number. Paragraph 3, line number 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. Transfer from a regular office to a cool one, right? Transfer, I mean move. Here they said that when transferred, when we say we transfer something or someone, I mean we move something or someone from this location to another location. Yes. Come again. Which paragraph? Line number? Paragraph 3 line number 13. Mình đến từ trên xuống dưới mất thời giờ, mình đến từ dưới lên đi thì mình nói là gì? Paragraph 3 line number. Which word? Majority. You can say paragraph 3 line number 3 from the bottom nha. Mình nói là dòng thứ ba từ dưới đến lên, line number 3 from the bottom. Dễ hơn nha. Majority of companies. The majority of companies. Majority means the large part. Yeah. The main one or the large part of that, like more than 80%, something like that. The majority of companies, that means the most of the companies, many companies. Yeah. What else? Textile. Where is that? Paragraph 1. Okay. Line number 3 from the bottom, right? Paragraph 1, line number 3 from the bottom. Textiles. Do you know textiles? Textiles industry. We are talking about garment industry. Clothes. Clothes industry. Clothes. You can say like clothes or sewing, something like that. Yeah. May mặc các bạn. Dệt may hay gì đó. May mặc. Yes. Okay.
What does productivity mean?
Increase productivity amongst employees, right? Productivity, in this case, very similar to efficiency. When I say increase productivity, that means that people can produce more. Productivity, increase, with the word increase productivity, that means produce more. You can analyze productivity, you write efficiency. Efficiency. The word efficiency is down there. Paragraph 3, the last line. Next to the last line. Important contributor to efficiency. Do you see efficiency? Yes. Efficiency is the noun form of efficient. Okay? When you say something efficient, that means efficient. What? No, like it can produce. We explained about that so many times. We can produce more in under the same condition. Okay, I give you one example. Increase productivity, like typing faster. Typing like 24% faster. See that? So, when they say typists increase their output by 24%, that means they increase productivity. Okay? They can work faster. Yeah, they can produce more. Yes. What? Line number? Pharmaceuticals, selling medicine, like pharmacy or something. Yes. Paragraph 2, line number. Yeah. Which word? Rose steeply. Now, roll steeply means rolls up, like rolls really fast. Really fast. Rolls fast. Increase. Thiện. Did I finish? Ngọc Quyên chưa thuộc lắm, còn bạn này sao?
Thằng đó nó ổn rồi.
Thuộc rồi có for rồi đúng không?
Nãy đọc luôn quá.
Ok, good. Rồi cũng được rồi, còn bắt nhưng mà cũng xong ta rồi mấy đứa ra chơi thì break time. Đừng ngồi mạng. Ok guys, go on. Thôi các bạn break chút đi, break time guys.